What a night for baseball at Target Field, and what an opportunity for the Twins to start the long climb out of last place in the American League Central. Their next 11 games coming up against teams ahead of them in the division, starting tonight, the first of three with the first place Chicago White Sox. And it is a gorgeous night for baseball. Glad you're with us. Dick and Bert with you for the opener of the series with the White Sox, coming off one of the more dramatic road wins the Twins have had in quite some time.
You know what's so great about that win is Scott Diamond had just given up the lead with a 2-run home run to Joey Votto, but it was Josh Willingham who came up and just clobbered the ball. This is a blast, okay? That was a blast.
A bomb.
And the Twins ended up winning 4-3, but it's not the first time that Willingham has had big hits at the end of the ball game. 8 times he's been able to do it, and he has fit in very nicely in that number 4 spot.
Now, the White Sox have been the steadiest team in the American League Central, but they had a cavity at third base they think they filled yesterday with a big trade with the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, with the Boston Red Sox, they ended up getting Kevin Youkilis. Kevin Youkilis, if he is healthy, he should help this offense. Why? Because they have had a tough time finding a third baseman. You can see that's the normal lineup where Robin Ventura has had that third baseman hitting last, basically, and the third baseman coming into today only hitting 168 combined. Well, Kevin Youkilis now is hitting second in the lineup for Robin Ventura.
Brent Morel started there. He's hurt. Orlando Hudson, the former Twin, filled in there for a while, but the White Sox are hoping that they got a steal from the Red Sox. We'll be back with the opening game of this 3-game series. Trevor Plouffe hoping to continue his hot hitting in the month of June.
Your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
big AL Central Division Series kicks off tonight here in downtown Minneapolis as the Twins take on the first-place White Sox here on Fox Sports North. I'm Robbie Smikowski. Well, for Trevor Plouffe, June has been an outstanding month for him. He has torn the cover off the baseball. In fact, he has gone over the yard 10 times in the month of June, and look at the average, over 350, 18 runs batted in. It has been spectacular. Just the 10th Twin ever to hit 10 or more home runs in a month. Trevor Plouffe putting his name in the Twins record books. And earlier, I asked Trevor Plouffe about his success here in June.
It's been nice to be able to come out and know that I'm going to play every day, and just being a part of this turnaround. You know, we're continuing to work hard, and we don't believe for a second that we're out of the race at all. In fact, we're looking forward to these next couple of weeks, getting right back into it.
So 10 home runs in a month of June for Plouffe. That's outstanding. Harmon Killebrew holds the Twins record. He had 10 or more home runs in a month 18 times. That is unbelievable. When we come back, we've got Francisco Liriano making his first start against the White Sox since throwing a no-hitter last May. How will he fare? Find out. We come back with the first pitch on Fox Sports North.
Are ready to try and jump back into the American League Central race. That chase begins tonight against the Central leading Sox in the first of 11 straight against divisional foes. Minnesota's been one of the hottest hitting teams at home. They hope for more home heroics next at Target Field. 3 with Chicago, then 4 with Kansas City, then 4 in Detroit. A great chance for the Twins if they can get their act together, keep it together the next week and a half to make this season relevant before the All-Star break. And the Menards batting order for the Chicago White Sox. Kevin Youkilis hitting second behind Alejandro De Aza. Adam Dunn third. Paul Konerko, Alex Rios, A.J. Pierzynski, Diane Viciedo, Alexei Ramirez, and Gordon Beckham.
And it's Francisco Liriano. Good pitching matchup tonight. Liriano has been red hot over his last 5 starts, a 2.67 ERA. And the most important thing, been able to go 6 innings. And his last outing, he went 6 2/3 innings into the 7th inning for the first time this year. 4 of his last 5 starts have been quality starts.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Willingham in left, Span in center, Revere in right, Plouffe and Dozier, Carroll, Morneau around the infield. Joe Mauer's DHing, Drew Butera doing the catching for the series opener.
And again, when I say quality starts, for you viewers that do not know what a quality start is in today's game, is when a starter goes 6 innings or more and gives up 3 earned runs or less. So Liriano making his 12th start of the year, his 17th appearance, looking for his 2nd win of the year. And this is the first time he has faced the White Sox as a starter since May of last year when he no-hit the White Sox.
Strike on the outside corner. Remember the end of last year, Liriano had some health issues. He was sent to the bullpen to just pitch occasionally. And then, of course, for the middle part of the season so far this year, he was sent to the bullpen. This one low, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, his no-hitter pitched in Chicago on May 3rd of last year.
Swing and a miss. The Twins coming off a series win in Cincinnati, while the White Sox, in dramatic fashion, got a series win against the Brewers in extra innings yesterday. But it's just the first Chicago series win since the beginning of the month. There's a little pop-up wide of third. Plouffe in foul territory appears to have room. 1 down. Now the White Sox team in June has a losing record, 9-12 in the month, but they're still in first place because of a hot streak they had in May. That's the way this division is.
Yeah, that's the right point, Dick. This division is kind of, who gets hot? And take a look at Kevin Youkilis, now wearing a Chicago White Sox uniform, coming over from the Boston Red Sox. So instead of Red Sox, now he's got White Sox.
And he is traded from a team that's 38-34 to another team that's 38-34. The difference is the Red Sox are 5.5 games back, and the White Sox are a half game up. 2-0 to Youkilis.
Youkilis spent 8+ years with the Boston Red Sox. Always been a very good hitter. You see him where he holds that right hand on the bat. Very unusual type of setup in that batter's box.
A 3-time All-Star, a former Gold Glove winner at first base. He'll be asked to play principally third base with the White Sox. Busted bat, the bouncer to short. Dozier scoops it up. 2 down.
Well, what we saw early on, Liriano really struggled with his control. His first 6 starts, you can see the very high earned run average. That's the key right there. And now you look on the other side, the 2.67 ERA.
And of course, the fans are wondering, how can a guy who can pitch so well pitch so poorly? Or how can a guy who pitched so poorly suddenly pitch so well?
Well, it might have been the rest. It might be because he's chewing gum now. It could be a lot of things. I said in the open, when I read about Liriano, he finally said, I realize I cannot strike out everybody. So what we saw in his last start in Pittsburgh, go 6 2/3 innings, he still was right around 100 pitches in those innings, but he got some quick outs. Through 97 pitches, 60 for strikes, and just like that, a 1-2-3 inning.
He might not be able to strike out everybody, but he can strike out Adam Dunn. pitching a 1-2-3 inning. Ron Gardenhire's Menards batting order has Denard Span leading off. Then Ben Revere, Joe Mauer, the designated hitter. Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, Trevor Plouffe, Brian Dozier, Drew Butera, and Jamie Carroll.
And on the mound, that'll be Jake Peavy. White Sox have some very good starters in their rotation. We'll see Chris Sale here on Wednesday, but Jake Peavy has been outstanding. He is making his 15th start. 12 of his 14 starts have been quality starts, and opponents are hitting just 198 off of him. Left-handers 226, right-handers only 162. When that slider is on, he's tough. He's got a good sinking fastball, and then his out pitch is that hard slider.
Here's Span, and strike one.
And the biggest thing, he's healthy. Last couple of years, you know, he's had different surgeries and groin injury, but so far so good for the White Sox and Jake Peavy.
Foul back, 2 strikes.
Peavy coming into the ball game 98 2/3 innings. He has 83 strikeouts, 23 walks. He has allowed 8 home runs, 5 of them to left-handed hitters.
And fouled outside the Chicago dugout.
Peavy also making his 3rd career start here at Target Field. He made 2 starts last year. He was 2-0, total of 14 1/3 innings in both combined both starts. Did not allow the Twins a run. He won 7-0 and 3-0.
In the dirt, blocked by Pierzynski, 1-2. In a sense, a perfect team for the Twins to face. If there's a surge in this Twins team before the All-Star break, who better to start it than the first place team and a Chicago team that they have really played well against over the last few years, particularly here in Minnesota. 1-2. Twins are 25-12 here in Minnesota against the White Sox since September of 2007.
Fourth time these two teams have met. 3 in Chicago earlier, and White Sox won 2 of the 3.
2-2 to Span. Down the line, a base hit. Might get to the corner. Span wheels around first. He'll dig for second. Here's the throw from Rios, and it's a leadoff double. Span fell behind, worked the count even, and got something he could handle.
You know, Span was sitting right on top of that plate. Peavy looked like he tried to go inside again. And Span opening up quickly. A lot of times we'll see him let that ball go deep into the zone, but right there got it out early. And Rios, who has an outstanding arm, but Span taking that challenge right there and score and gets in his second base with a double, his 18th of the year.
And now Revere.
That's what you like to see too, Dick. Aggressive base running right off the get-go. See if maybe Revere bunts. Yes, he does.
What a play by Peavy. But the ball rolls free from Konerko, and Span holds up at third. Peavy with a nice diving stop, throwing from his knees. It was in Konerko's glove, but then kicked out by Revere.
Yeah, Revere won't get a base hit on this. Watch Peavy dive for it, and then from his knees a quick throw, but the speedy Ben Revere right there, because as a pitcher you know this guy's flying down the line. You have to hurry your throw. So an infield base hit credited to Ben Revere, and Denard Span moves over to third base.
Mauer with runners at first and third, nobody out. Mauer's .316 average tied for 5th in the American League. 26 points behind the leader, Paul Konerko of the White Sox. Up and away, ball 1.
Bauer 4 for 15 lifetime against Jake Peavy with a couple doubles.
One and 0 to Bauer. And a strike. Peavy's been outstanding, and he has absolutely nothing to show for it in the month of June. 4 starts in June. He's given up a total of 6 earned runs, an ERA of 1.91, and he's 0-2.
Yeah. The beautiful game of baseball.
Chance for the Twins to do some damage here in the very first inning. See his record in June. 0-2 with 2 no decisions.
Boy, he didn't even step toward third base right there.
That
he just
was,
kind of put his foot down, and that to me is a balk. You have to at least go toward third. He just put his foot down and then threw to first.
1-1 to Bauer. 1-2. So it should be no problem, right? Peavy throws 90. Aroldis Chapman threw 102. Bauer was 0-2 to Chapman. 1-2 here with Peavy.
Well, I just showed you right there. Peavy has not given up a run yet in the first inning in his first 14 starts. So see if the Twins can break that 0.
One and 2. And that drifts wide. 2-2.
Peavy, 30 years old, in his 4th season with the Chicago White Sox, came up with the Padres in 2002. Won the National League Cy Young Award for the Padres in 2007.
Long bottom of the first inning with just 11 pitches thrown and nobody out. Driven to right. Rios with the catch. Bauer creamed it to the warning track. Span scores. It's 1-0.
And Ron Coomer just saw Joe Mauer almost too much top spin. That ball came back, and Rios able to get it in deep right field. But how do you get to a guy like Jake Peavy?
Well, I don't know if anybody has that answer totally, Bert. He's been pretty good here as of late. But the big key to me is you got to get him in the strike zone. You got to make him throw strikes. When you do, you have a chance, like Joe just did there. The other big key is, to me, when a guy has command like this of multiple pitches, pick a speed. Like right now, he's been throwing a lot of fastballs for strikes and around the zone. If you're on the fastball speed, you can adjust to the breaking ball. But I really like going after a guy like this that was going to throw a lot of fastballs and stay on that speed.
One strike to Willingham, who took a strike yesterday in Cincinnati in the 9th inning.
You know, I know that Ron Coomer and Kevin Gort went over yesterday's ball game, but 2 at-bats were outstanding. Joe Mauer's long at-bat against Chapman. And then I think what was very important is that what you're talking about, Dick, Willingham taking that first fastball that was in the upper 90s just to see the velocity go by. And then he missed someone's sliders. He got into that hitter's count. And he already said, this is going to be a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I have to be short and quick. And boy, was he.
1-1 to Willingham. Bounce to short, might be 2. Twins get a double and an infield hit, turn it into a run. For the first time this year, Jake Peavy has given up a first inning run.
It's Mikowski. The Twins are already battling with a couple starters on the disabled list, and that has extended its way to the bullpen as closer Matt Capps was officially placed on the DL today. And in tonight's Sanford Health Injury Report, Capps goes on the 15-day DL officially. Tyler Robertson, a left-handed middle reliever, comes up to take his place. And I asked Ron Gardhire, Dick and Bird, about his closer situation. It's going to be a combination like it was on the road trip with with Jared Burton and Glenn Perkins taking over the roles. And the only difference, he said, is your 7th and 8th inning guys are now all of a sudden your 8th and 9th inning guys, and the situation is going to dictate who goes in each particular night in a safe situation.
Thank you, Robbie. It's right now a two-headed monster, I guess, for the Twins in the closer's role, and if they're both monsters, it'll work out great.
Yeah, let's hope that they have to find out who is going to be the closer on what particular night.
To the right side, a two-hop skipper to Carroll. Konerko retired one away.
Konerko came into that at bat hitting .342, the best in the American League. And he tore up the Twins in that 3-game series. He was 7 for 12 with a couple home runs, so you want to face that guy with nobody on.
Rios will hit next. First tomorrow evening, the Twins and White Sox will be holding court at Target Field. It's a Sports Authority value pack game. You can purchase a ticket. The U.S. Bank Home Run Porch View seats get a free Schweigert hot dog and a Pepsi. Line up your tickets for tomorrow night's game. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. It's supposed to be another gorgeous night for baseball here tomorrow night. Rios with a two-hopper to short. Dozier sets and fires a close play. Dozier may have learned a lesson rather inexpensively there. He almost took too much time.
Well, you want to set up and throw, but one thing that Rios has really done this year, he's hustling. They say in Chicago he has really turned himself around, and he's the player that they're hoping he would be when they got him from the Toronto Blue Jays. See him set, got to get a ball quicker. Rios hustling down that line, a bang-bang play. Ooh. You can see Morneau just caught that ball before Rios put his foot on the bag.
I don't know that we've ever seen Lariano record 5 outs on 16 pitches, but that's where we're at. He's delivered strike 1 now to Pierzynski.
Well, that's what we saw in his last start in Pittsburgh too, Dick. He just attacked the strike zone early and did a great job. Went into the 7th inning and threw less than 100 pitches. Threw 97 pitches, 60 for strikes. That's outstanding for Lariano.
Down and in, 2-1.
In his start against the Pirates, after 5 innings, he had thrown only 55 pitches. So he's going about his business, attack, get some ground ball outs like he has been able to, and the strikeouts will come.
Didn't see Liriano work on the gum in the first inning. Looks like he has some in the second. Probably couldn't take cotton candy on the mound. You can't take pine tar. Maybe you can take cotton candy if you want to improve your grip. 3-2.
I would take the blue out over the pink.
Kind of hard to intimidate somebody if you've got some pink cotton candy out there. Viciedo on deck. Liriano doesn't want to walk Pierzynski with 2 gone in the inning. Tapper right side. Morneau will go to the bag. 3 1-2-3 innings for Francisco Liriano. Twins with a 1-0 lead. Here's the Northland Ford defensive lineman for the White Sox. Viciedo, Diaz, Rios. Youkilis in at third. Ramirez, Beckham up the middle. Konerko at first. Pierzynski behind the plate. Morneau, Plouffe, and Dozier to face Jake Peavy in the second inning. Strike over the inside corner. Now 1-1. When Morneau hit his 10th home run of the year back in early June, he was among the team leaders. Well, he has seen Plouffe race past him. Willingham and Plouffe tied for the team lead now with 15. Foul back, and it's 1-2.
Boy, that's what we've seen Justin doing too. Just getting underneath that ball. Good swing right there, but just got underneath that high fastball.
Fouled back. Still 1-2.
Justin just 1 for 2 lifetime against Jake Peavy. Remember, Justin spent a lot of time on a disabled list.
Pop straight up. It's back and out of play.
That was close to us.
Usher ended up with a baseball, gave it to a Twins fan. Glad to see that. 2-2. And now Peavy being admonished for something by third base umpire Tim Welke. I don't know if he was going to his mouth and not wiping off. And Outside again, 3-2. There's Tim Welke, the third base umpire.
He's the crew chief here.
Full count to Morneau. And he stops his delivery after starting it. Lifted to right center field. Piazza with the catch, and Morneau retired. Peavy pulled the string on him and got him on a fly ball.
Yeah, you think, Dick, what Peavy has had to go through, especially over the last 3-4 years. He had a torn tendon in his right ankle when he was with the Padres, and then he came over to Chicago. He had a detached muscle in his right shoulder, and they had to surgically repair that. I mean, that hurts just thinking about it. And last year, he had a right groin strain that put him on a disabled list for a while. But he's been healthy this year.
Trevor Plouffe takes a strike at the knees. Just a little bit, 1-1.
Yeah, Peavy, one of those guys on the mound. He'll talk to himself. You can see him, saying things to himself, and just very animated out there. Very competitive.
Konerko has it go off his glove, and it trickles into right field. Plouffe hit it right off the very end of his bat. A squibber, and once the ball was grounded, it seemed to spin away from Konerko's glove.
Yeah, watch this. It's a breaking ball right off the end of the bat toward Konerko. And then when it hit the ground, it kind of went out towards second base. And Beckham couldn't get it. And Rios finally gets it back in. Twins get their third hit of the ball game.
Youkilis coming in to talk to Peavy. Probably just relaying, I think, another message from Tim Welke, who's nodding now to Peavy. So not sure what the issue has been throughout this inning. Maybe it goes back to the first inning, but it might be telling him to, hey, if you're going to go to your mouth, you got to wipe off. It's just a guess on my part. There, Dozier bunting to the screen, 1 strike.
Ron Coomer, you know what they were discussing over there?
Yeah, right there. You're seeing it. It's him going to his mouth. I don't know if it's a lot of gum or if it's adult gum that he's chewing, but there's a lot of it, and he's definitely going to his mouth without wiping off. Timmy's been watching him in between every pitch, and that's what he sent Youkilis in to tell him.
And Dozier drops one into short right field. Plouffe's going to dig for third. Rios' throw is offline and past Youkilis into the tarp area. Plouffe is going to score, and Dozier stands at third.
Oh, that's a ball that Kevin Youkilis has to get in front of. He tried to short hop it. Nice strong throw by Rios, but it was up the line toward left field. And Youkilis tried to almost just short hop it, try to catch it. Another one hit right off the end of the bat, finds that hole. I like the base running of the Twins so far in this ballgame. Very aggressive base running. And Youkilis right there, he looked like he tried to get in front of it, but the ball caromed off of him. But it's Rios that'll get the air, and Plouffe ends up scoring on the air.
Infield in now for Butera. Way out in front of an off-speed pitch, 1 strike. So 2-0 Twins. They have not hit the ball hard here at all in the second inning. Actually hit it much harder in the first.
But you know what they're doing? Span led off the ball game with aggressive base running and challenging the arm of a very good right fielder in Alex Rios. And right there, Plouffe tried to take that extra base and created the air.
Check swing on a foul, now 0-2 to Butera. Trying to get one to the outfield to get Dozier in from third. High fastball got him.
Went up the ladder right there, and Peavy picks up a big strikeout. The second out of the inning.
Trevor Plouffe spearheading what has been a revitalized lineup at home.
Yeah, 9 games played. Trevor Plouffe, you can see the offense for the Twins hitting over 300 and hitting some balls out of the ballpark. But Twins know they want to get back into this division. They have to win at home. They come into this ball game 13-22 here at Target Field.
Here's Carroll. Base hit center field. A huge 2-out hit for Jamie Carroll. Dozier comes in. It's 3-0.
Boy, Peavy screaming at himself out there because he left a cookie about chest high to Jamie Carroll, and he wasn't wasting any time with this at bat. I see a fastball up. I'm going to hit it somewhere, and that ball right down the heart of the plate, and Jamie Carroll taking it right back up the middle. So the Twins take a 3-0 lead. Jamie Carroll with his 23rd RBI of the year.
Here's Span, who doubled down the right field line to start the ball game. Driven to deep right field. Very high off the wall. They're going to hold Carroll with Span absolutely creaming the ball, and he missed a home run by about 6 inches. A pair of doubles for Span.
I saw Jamie Carroll jump on the first pitch. Denard Span. Boy, dropping the bat right there, and this ball almost went out of the ballpark.
See, Jim Thome had the right idea in the same spot. He hit it higher. They still haven't replaced the flower pot out there where Thome's ball landed, and Span nearly rearranged some more flowers.
Span with his second double of the ball game, his 19th of the year.
Revere with an infield hit last inning when the Twins scored 1. So far, they've scored 2. So far, they've advanced 5 runners into scoring position. The first 3 have scored. The other 2 are out there right now. And now Revere behind in the count, 0-2.
Take a look at top left of your screen. Wow.
Well, the White Sox catch a break here at Target Field because that ball was smoked. The single by Carroll and the double by Span should mean that the 3 runs scored are earned runs against Peavy. And this is a guy who all month long has only given up 6 earned runs.
And again, last year, 2 starts here at Target Field did not allow a run in 14 1/3 innings.
1-2 to Revere. Grounder headed up the middle. Great stop at second by Beckham. Revere is out on a very close play. Gordon Beckham with a sensational play to end the inning. St. Paul, wondering who was the last Twins third baseman to hit 25 home runs. Strike on the outside corner to Dayan Viciedo. Viciedo, Alexei Ramirez, and Gordon Beckham. Liriano now pitching with a 3-0 lead. 1-1. The Rat did it 4 times, and Corey Koskie did it a couple of times.
Yeah, Corey Koskie, the last to hit 25 home runs, hit it in 2004.
Little number. Liriano fields, throws, one away. There hasn't been a ball that's left the infield yet through 2 1/3 innings for Liriano.
Yeah, 5 ground ball out so far for Liriano. A little pop-up that was foul off of Diaz's bat to lead off the ball game, along with a strikeout.
25 pitches and 7 outs for Liriano.
Yeah, he's doing what he did in Pittsburgh. 55 pitches in 5 innings, 11 pitches in the first, 11 in the second.
Which means, of course, as a starter, he's not given up a hit to the White Sox in 11 1/3 innings, going back to last year. Here's Alexei Ramirez, one of the hottest hitters for Chicago, and he takes high. Ball 1. He and Beckham are hitting 8th and 9th to try to get their bats going, and it seems to be working. 1-1. Ramirez hitting .347 over the last couple of weeks. Beckham hitting .317 in June. Two and 1.
And very good numbers for Ramirez against Liriano. 10 hits and 25 at bats.
And time call.
Ramirez, 30 years old, signed out of Cuba by the Chicago White Sox in his 5th season. Fastball away.
Backhanded by Dozier. And a terrible throw that goes into the photog area. That ball looked like he never did get a good grip on the ball.
No, he made a great play to his right, dove for it, but tried to throw it all in one motion and just never got a good grip, like you mentioned. Take a look right here. Ramirez hitting it sharply. Dozier diving, comes up, and right there, just the ball just slipped out of his hand, basically.
It'll be a hit and an error. And Gordon Beckham will hit. So Ramirez continues to hit impressively and hit well against Liriano. Down the right field line, and Revere will chase it. And chase it down. A foul ball catch. Ramirez will tag and go to third. So again, not much foul territory down that right line, and not much room for Revere to make the catch, but he did.
That ball had some hang time, allowed Revere to get into that corner as he looks, and then in foul territory makes contact with the wall, but the ball's in his glove first, and then he makes contact for the second out. You can see not a lot of foul territory, like you mentioned, Dick, down that corner.
Nice, polite Minnesota Nice fans down there. Didn't interfere or reach onto the field of play. Swing and a miss by De Aza. Fouled away, 2 strikes. So Liriano getting ahead of the Chicago leadoff batter with the runner at third, the only base runner the White Sox have had so far tonight. Nice block by Butera. A wicked slider in the dirt, and Butera tilting his chest down, is able to keep it near home plate.
Well, you know a slider's coming, and Liriano's slider is so good, but he can see it right off the get-go. He's got to get down and deaden that ball, and Drew's able to do that.
1-2 to De Aza. Got him. The White Sox got their first hit, and base runner, he's left at third. It's still 3-0. Is brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. Joe Mauer to lead off the bottom of the third inning. And Peavy starts him with a strike. Mauer drove in the first run of the game with 2 strikes. He hit a line drive to the warning track in right field, caught by Rios, but it served as a sacrifice fly, getting Span in from third base. And now strike 2. 34th run batted in for Mauer. Everybody loves Joe Mauer. Not Aroldis Chapman, perhaps, but everybody else. Fouled away.
I mentioned it yesterday, Dick. I think when Mauer's in the lineup, of course, it just makes the club that much better. It sets up Willingham, sets up Morneau. It's just, you know, if the table setters can get on, like Ben Revere and Span did in the first inning, good things happen for the Twins.
1-2 to Mauer. Willingham and Morneau will follow. And Mauer takes. Never was his reluctance to swing at pitches outside the strike zone more evident than yesterday against Aroldis Chapman.
You know, there's certain guys that are blessed with this certain eyesight. They can pick up the ball instantly and react, and that's why guys like Joe Mauer and guys like that, this is going to be a tough play right here, and Mauer gets an infield base hit. That ball off the glove of Peavy slowed down, and Mauer will get a hit. You know, I think of Rod Carew, Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn. They pick up the ball in the rotation so quickly, and against Chapman yesterday, you think this guy's throwing 100 miles an hour, and they're still able to foul some of those pitches off. What was a 9-10 pitch at bat? Joe finally won the battle by hitting the double.
Josh Willingham bounced into a double play in the first inning. Up and away, ball 1. Willingham with 49 runs batted in, leading the team. 15 home runs, sharing the lead, and his batting average has consistently been higher than his career average. Swings at a breaking pitch there. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that's a nasty slider right there by Peavy. That's his best pitch. Good sinking fastball, then that nasty slider.
Twins with 1 in the first, 2 in the second against Peavy.
Yeah, seven hits already for the Twins.
Hop up behind first. Beckham making a foul ball catch, 1 away. July, don't miss the biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins in July. Tuesday, July 10th, the All-Star Game, 6:30 Central on Fox. Mike Napoli and a lot of the Rangers are leading the balloting. You've got a Ranger behind the plate. You've got a Ranger at third base and left field. Now that's for both leagues. Morneau takes just off the plate, ball 1. Twins haven't had a great record this year, so usually unless a player is voted in, that would mean they'll have one player. If it's just one, who would you put on?
Oh, Josh Willingham, no doubt about it.
I think the most familiar Twin, of course, is Joe Mauer, but he hasn't caught enough in the minds, I think, of a lot of people to get a spot behind the plate.
I think what Josh has done to help due to this ball club.
That ball scalded into center field, and Mauer will round second, head for third. And Morneau with a sharp single, sending Mauer to third base with 1 away.
Well, we talked about Jake Peavy coming into this ball game has been red hot. He hasn't had a lot of run support, but Justin, right off the end of the bat, taking it right back up the middle. They got past Peavy very quickly, and Mauer going from first to third. So 8 hits now against Jake Peavy with 1 out here in the third inning.
And Plouffe.
Well, Ron Coomer, it seems like their game plan is to go up there, look for that fastball, and don't miss it.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Bert, that when you get a guy that's as good as Peavy with command, good fastball, good breaking ball, you get the heater early in the count. If that's the speed you're sitting on, you can't miss it, but you want to be able to attack a certain speed, and I think the Twins hitters are being able to do that so far in this ballgame.
Might have blocked it with a shin guard, but Pierzynski blocked it to keep it around home plate. Ball 1. Looking for some add-on runs, already in front 3-0. Fouled back. Peavy's already thrown more than 50 pitches. He's retired. Actually, just 6 batters. He got a ground ball double play in the first inning.
Yeah, Trevor Plouffe hit one right off the end of the bat that scored it past Konerko in the second inning.
And a fastball 1-2. Twins have had a couple of those. A ball off the Plouffe's base hit off the glove of Konerko, and then the one that Mauer hit that started this inning off the glove of the pitcher.
Yeah, even Dozier's base hit just kind of went the other way.
1-2 to Trevor Plouffe. And Plouffe strikes out. That's out number 2.
Yeah, Peavy just reared back and challenged Plouffe right there. Picks up his second strikeout. He did that last inning. Remember, he struck out Drew Butera, and then Jamie Carroll came up on the next pitch, picked up the big 2-out RBI single. See if Dozier can get a big 2-out hit here.
Didn't hit it well, but chipped it into right field for a base hit. Later, a run scored. That tickles the outside corner. Dozier jumped to the big leagues, hit a couple of quick home runs, and hasn't homered since. Hasn't really been driving the ball much lately. Inside and high, 1-1.
Jake Peavy making his 265th Major League start. 115 wins, 84 losses. Career ERA coming into this ball game 3.43.
There's a fastball taken for a strike. Couldn't ask for better weather for the opening game of this homestand. 1-2 to Brian Dozier. Fly ball right field. Rios comes in a few steps. The Twins threat. Don't score. They strand a pair but lead 3-0. Baseball can cast your vote for the Arby's Value Player of the Game. Text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234. If I had a vote, I'd probably vote for Span too. A couple of doubles got the game started on the right foot for the Twins.
Yeah, he or Liriano 1-2 right now, and both of them doing a great job.
Pitching, everything's pitching.
Well, Liriano, we weren't able to say that for a while.
No.
Now we are.
No, we weren't. One strike to Kevin Youkilis. Bounced to short in his first at bat for his new team, and Liriano gets him to dance in the batter's box.
Youkilis for the Red Sox. He and Bobby Valentine, I guess, didn't see eye to eye about a lot of things.
From day one.
So I think this will be a good move, I think, for the White Sox, that Youkilis can live up to his career numbers. Came into this season a .289 career hitter with 129 home runs. As you mentioned, 3-time All-Star, won a Gold Glove at first base.
2-2. The White Sox, simply put, weren't getting much of anything from their third baseman this year. Brent Morel struggled. Went out on the disabled list with a back injury. Orlando Hudson asked to play a position he had not played in the big leagues before. This one drilled. It'll hook foul.
That's a double in Boston. That hits the wall before it goes foul.
There's Orlando Hudson.
Yeah, even Orlando Hudson said himself, I'm looking forward to Youkilis joining us. He said, you know, I really struggled over there. I'm not a third baseman, and I'm not hitting.
And in the same answer said, if I was the general manager, I'd have made that trade too.
Right.
3-2 to the leadoff man here in the fourth. Liriano's allowed just one base runner. Ramirez's infield hit in the third. Bouncer right side, looks harmless enough. Carroll to Morneau, one away.
And another ground ball out. 6 ground ball out so far for Liriano.
Rasmussen College is proud to present Student Days every Wednesday at Target Field. Students can attend the Twins White Sox game Wednesday at noon. getting a standing room only ticket for just $8.
$8?
Student day tickets are available beginning at 9 in the morning Wednesday. There's a limit of 1 ticket per student with a valid ID. For
what if you don't have an ID?
Well, then you can't get the discount. You can pay full freight like everybody else. Go to twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS.
Good deal, though.
I have a press pass, so
you're not a student.
I'm getting in. No.
You get in free?
I get in free with that. Again, here's Adam Dunn. 1 strike from Liriano. We mentioned only partly in jest that Dunn could be struck out by Liriano. He has 2 strikeouts. Dunn's been striking out against just about everybody when he's not been hitting home runs.
Kind of a hit and miss type guy.
With the emphasis on miss.
Always has been. But he always has been. You know, over his career, he's averaged about 1 strikeout every 3 at-bats. So it's not a surprise that he has, 116 strikeouts already this year.
That's 3 more than Justin Verlander has. And he's a pitcher. And he only pitches once every 5 days.
Well, he's got 23 home runs.
2-2 to Adam Dunn. You know, and he really struggled frightfully last year. No one would wish a season like that on anybody. But this resurgent season that he is having, 23 home runs, 53 runs batted in, I wonder how much of that interpretation is based on how horrible his year was last year.
Yeah, hit only 159, and there's that slider down and away, and Liriano gets him for the 2nd time and his 3rd strikeout.
If he had had these numbers a year ago, people would have said, you know what, he's striking out too much.
Slider, you see the tight rotation, and Dunn misses it. Butera tags him.
Here's Paul Konerko, bounced to second his first time up. The only ball that has left the infield was Beckham's foul fly in the 3rd inning.
Hey, up here in the booth we have Andrew and Sarah, and then some friends. They used to live in Duluth, and now they live in Grand Forks. They actually coming in to thank you and I for the donation that we made for the good people up in Duluth for the flood victims. So thank you very much for coming up, and you are all hereby circled.
Konerko with a 2-0 count.
And they're from Staples, too.
They all went to Staples, and 2 of them
they graduated at your high school.
Yeah. Well, there's at least
4 of them.
Four of us graduated from Staples High School, and 2 of them are children of guys I went to high school with.
Okay, now
sports with.
Now, do you guys know the Fleshers? I believe it's Flesher, Fred and Hazel Flesher from Staples. They're celebrating their 54th wedding anniversary, so happy anniversary to them.
2-0 to Konerko, and now 3-0 with Rios on deck.
Okay, the Fleshers. Fred and Hazel. Happy anniversary to you too. Lovebirds.
A 4-pitch walk to Konerko with 2 gone in the 4th. And Rios will hit. AT&T trivia. Who is the last White Sox player to win the American League batting title? My goodness. I think you've got to go back a long ways for that one. I believe I know the answer. And I think you've got to go back a long ways. But again, I didn't graduate from Staples High School, so what do I know? I did graduate proudly, class of 1974.
Best 5 years of your high school career.
Right. 1 strike to Rios.
And I still had you by 1 year.
Tailing away, it's 1-1.
Well, I mentioned in his last at bat and throughout the ballgame so far that Alex Rios has really picked it up this year. Last year, he had only .227 for the White Sox. Kind of a disappointing year, but this year a lot better for Alex Rios. hitting at .291 coming into this ball game.
And now 6 of the last 7 by Liriano out of the strike zone. Very good strike percentage up until this inning.
Well, this is where we've seen Drew, even in Pittsburgh, go out and just try to get him back in. And it's funny that Liriano, when he made his debut after that stint in the bullpen, Butera has caught him in all 5 previous starts. So there's a good combination there. Drew's doing a good job of handling Liriano.
But again, that's one of the things that might keep Mauer from getting an all-star berth, because Joe doesn't catch Liriano, hasn't caught nearly as much as he has in the past. That's outside now, 3-1, and
you know, there's a lot of times, Dick, I mean, we saw it with Steve Carlton and Tim McCarver. There's that combination that they work well together. And when you look at Liriano's numbers over the last 5 starts, 2.67 ERA. Yeah, there's some chemistry there working.
And that's hit hard through the hole to left, so not by a walk, but by a base hit. Rios reaches, and now Pierzynski comes to the plate as the tying run.
Well, this all comes with 2 outs, too. It's very important to get the first couple outs. The walk to Konerko. Now he fell behind on Rios, came in with a fastball. Rios hit it sharply in the left field. Now bear down and get this final out.
And Pierzynski has always been at least competitive against left-handed pitching, and this year he's hitting lefties better than righties.
AJ already in his 8th season with the White Sox. 15th season at the major league level. Very durable.
Fouled. 1 strike, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
So he's been on a disabled list 1 time in his career.
Couple points higher against lefties. Fouled. 2 strikes. And lately with the White Sox, it seems like his career's been extended year to year, either with the White Sox picking up an option or offering him another year or 2 at a time. He does not know where he will play next year, but he still wants to play. And it might very well be with the White Sox. Again, even at that, you're up there with 2 strikes, and Liriano throws you a slider. As a hitter, as a human being, how do you not swing at that pitch?
Well, he's always been a good hitter. Look at that good career average, 140 home runs.
Came inside with a fastball, struck him out. The White Sox strand 2, and the Twins still lead 3-0. From our GoPro shot, look at a nice warning track with all those sunflower seeds on it. Drew Butera will lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Twins. Each team has had some opportunities to score some runs. The White Sox did in the top of the fourth, but the Twins are the only ones on the board right now with 3. Butera facing Peavy for the second time. Peavy in the midst of a 2-run inning. Finally, I think, decided he wanted to strike somebody out. It happened to be Drew Butera. He was a little upset with how the inning had progressed. And Peavy struck out Butera, but then Carroll delivered a big RBI single to take the lead from 2-0 to 3-0. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Eight hits already for the Twins against Peavy.
Slider. And Butera goes down for the second time as AJ goes him out at first base. So Peavy picking up his 3rd strikeout. So AJ Pierzynski put down the 3. That's a slider. And Drew swinging at a pitch out of the strike zone.
We'll bring up Carroll, who jumped on a first pitch fastball and lined it sharply to center. 8 hits for the Twins, but again, looking back, there's 1 ball hit off the tip of Konerko's glove, 1 base hit off of Peavy's glove. There was the infield hit by Revere that was in Konerko's glove and kicked out by the base runner. And Dozier's little chip shot that barely made the outfield grass.
They'd like everything to be hit at something, but you know what? He made a mistake by throwing to Jamie Carroll that first fastball that Carroll hit sharply up the middle for the RBI. Span's had a couple real good at-bats against him.
A lot of sliders here in this 4th inning to the bottom of the Twins lineup. 2 quick strikes to Carroll. Lays off the breaking pitch. 1-2. Bouncer to short. Easy play for Ramirez. 2 down. Mentioned the White Sox in first place by a half game. We'll answer our trivia question. I believe you got to go back to Luke Appling. You have to go back way
that far
to the 30s. Oh, Frank Thomas. How could I forget
Frank Thomas? I didn't even get to vote, so I say Frank Thomas.
So 2 down. Here's Denard Span, who's doubled twice. A leadoff double in the first. He scored a run. Then he hit maybe one of the hardest balls we've ever seen him hit. A rocket off the top of the fence in right center field. 1 strike. This one hooked foul. 2 strikes. Mentioned the White Sox in first place in the division. They've had kind of a flat June, but they moved into first place with a 13-1 stretch at the end of May. And they rode great starting pitching over the last 2 weeks of May. Peeled foul. Still 2 strikes to Span. And while a 13-1 stretch is unrealistic for just about anybody, including the Twins, what the Twins hope is to get their starting rotation straightened out in the next week and a half and pick up some ground on Chicago and the other 3 teams in between. 1-2. It can be done. It's just a question of whether it will be done.
Right. I agree. You know, Scott Diamond's fit in nicely. Now we've seen Liriano pick it up. You know, you just need other guys to just be consistent and get deep into the ball game.
1-2. On the inside corner, Span's gone, and Peavy enjoys his first 1-2-3 innings.
Winner's Circle at Target Field, where I am holding $100 in Minnesota State Lottery scratch-off tickets, and they are here for Kelly Erickson and her son Scott. Yes, Scott Erickson, 11 years old. Now, they escaped the floods from Hermantown, and luckily they didn't get a lot of damage to their house. They suffered a little bit of roof damage, but everything is okay, luckily. But I want to ask you, 11 years old Scott Erickson, is he the reason, Scott Erickson, the pitcher, the reason he's named?
Oh, yeah. His dad definitely said, I think it'd be cool to name him Scott Erickson, just like the Minnesota Twins pitcher. Absolutely.
All right, so Mom Kelly gets $100 in Minnesota State Lottery scratch-off tickets. Congratulations to them. Dick and Bert, we obviously send our very best to the people up north and hope they can recover from the floods.
Absolutely, Robbie. One quick out. We've all seen the devastating effects of the flooding in northeast Minnesota. Justin and Krista Morneau stepped up to offer their help and challenge Twins fans to donate. The Morneaus will match contributions to flood relief in northeast Minnesota up to $25,000. So go to www.twinsbaseball.com/donate to make your contribution. And the contributions will be made to the Twins Wives Organization and then distributed to relief efforts in the affected regions.
Congratulations to Justin and the Morneau family for doing that.
2-0 to Alexei Ramirez with one gone. And a rocket over the head of Liriano. Ramirez has 2 of the 3 hits against Liriano here tonight.
Well, he came into the ball game with good numbers against Liriano and adds to that. Now 12 hits for Ramirez against Liriano and 27 at bats. Fastball, watch out. Liriano ducks to get out of the way. 3rd hit for the White Sox.
Chuck and duck.
Yes, done that many times.
Here's Gordon Beckham. A foul fly to the right field corner, caught by Ben Revere. Down and in, ball 1.
Beckham in his 4th season with the White Sox came up in 2009.
Driven to right at Revere, out number 2. So Beckham's hit 2 of them to Ben Revere. 2 gone now in the 5th. That'll bring up De Aza.
You know, when Liriano keeps attacking the strike zone, even though Beckham hit that ball hard, good things happen. It's the walks. You know, you walk, you put your defense on their heels more or less. But I think what we are seeing is Liriano attacking the strike zone, and you're going to have better plays behind you.
De Aza with a foul pop to Plouffe, and then he went down swinging in the 3rd. Inside, ball 1. 4 strikeouts for Liriano in 4 2/3 innings.
67 pitches, 38 for strikes. Working at a good pace.
Slider off the plate, and it's 2-0.
Now you have a 3-0 lead. This is pretty much, you see the pitches per inning. Last inning, 26 pitches. This is where Drew Butera has to call fastball, give it to me right down in the middle, and you hope that De Aza hits it at somebody. You want to throw a strike to this leadoff hitter.
They've had some success on the inner half of the plate to De Aza. They threw a fastball in there and got him to swing and miss for strike 3 in the 3rd.
Yeah, one thing about Liriano, he doesn't have the control of, say, Scott Diamond, that the catcher's going to move left or right. You're going to just move a little bit, and that's what Butera does. Doesn't really go to the corners. He goes to the 3rd of the plate.
There's a drag bunt. And Morneau to the first base runner, to Carroll for the out. Nice play by Morneau, and a great job of hustling by Jamie Carroll to get the out at first.
Great hustle by Carroll right here.
We're at Target Field, first game of a 7-game homestand, first game of a 3-game series with the first place Chicago White Sox. Robbie Makowski, Ron Coomer, Bert Blyleven, and Dick Bramer, and a good start for the Twins. 3 runs against Jake Peavy in the first 2 innings, and before he took them out in the 5th, more discussion between Peavy, third base umpire Tim Welke, the crew chief, and home plate umpire Laz Diaz.
Well, again, Ron Coomer reporting, that, maybe Peavy not wiping off, and that's what they're talking to Peavy about.
And this one past a diving Beckham. And Revere's aboard with a base hit. Remember, Revere hit almost the identical shot in the second inning with 2 men in scoring position, and Beckham was able to flag it down and turn that smash into a big third out.
Yeah, this one hit just a little bit harder. Fastball right there, and Beckham going to his right. This time he cannot hit it, and Revere gets his second hit. So a speedy Ben Revere at first base.
And now Mauer 1 for 1 with a sacrifice fly, his hit, an infield hit off the glove of the Chicago pitcher. On the basis only of Mauer's last at bat yesterday, it would be logical to think that he's ready to take off and have a good homestand here. If you can swing at the pitches he swung at and not swing at the ones he didn't, that says, among other things, that he's seeing the ball well. I know that can change from game to game, but my goodness.
I think he's always seen the ball well. I think for the Twins to get back in the race, Joe Mauer needs to stay healthy. He needs to be in the lineup every day.
Fouled away, 2 strikes.
Hey, Ron Coomer, Peavy, a good athlete. Of course, he's a pitcher. They're the best athlete in the world, but pretty quick out there.
Yeah, the one thing about Peavy, he's got a great move to first base. This last pickoff throw before that last pitch was just kind of a setup pickoff move. But he's got great quick feet, Bert, and as you know, that's how you pick a guy off. You've got to have a short arm swing, but his feet are really quick. That's just a setup right there. That's not the A move for sure.
Yeah, there's certain pitchers that were quick. I think for myself, Kirk McCaskill with the Angels was one of the best as far as quick feet. Jesse Crain, former Twin, very good, and he's in the bullpen for the Chicago White Sox. Very quick feet. There it is right there, what you were talking about, Ron.
And the one thing I'm noticing with Peavy, and I don't know if this is it yet, but when his feet are a little wider, he's coming to first. When he gets a little more narrow with his setup in the stretch, he's going home.
Well, that wasn't very quick.
That's because it was in slow.
Even I could have got back on that one.
Mauer pops it up. It'll reach the seats. Well, all the attention that Peavy paid Revere in the first inning. Remember, the Twins had Span at third, Revere at first, nobody out. But Peavy was very aware of Revere, eventually held him at first, and eventually got a ground ball double play off the bat of Willingham.
Well, what helps him is the quick feet, like Ron talking about, and then the slide step toward home plate, and then different pauses as far as don't just come set and throw, hold it a split second, and then go. Like that.
Ooh.
That breaking ball just as Diaz telling the bench for the White Sox it is a bit outside.
That's frankly the type of call you'd expect Joe to get that he hasn't been getting very often. He's been called out on a lot of pitches just off the plate. Out of center, and De Aza comes in for the out.
Well, he came inside right there, and Joe kind of jammed himself to create that fly ball to center.
Now, the Twins faced with the same situation they were faced in the first inning, with Willingham at the plate, Revere at first. Twins never sent Revere in the first inning, and then Willingham bounced into a double play. We'll see if they're a little more aggressive here, trying to get Revere to second.
Well, you have that 3-0 lead, too. Ben Revere at first base, 14 stolen bases in 17 attempts. Almost quick pitched him right there.
And a check swing, strike one. Half swing, and this time no swing. You saw Revere's success rate stealing. He was thrown out in Cincinnati. I think his other throwouts from memory, a pickoff, and then when he overslid second base.
Yep, that was the first time that he was thrown out from catcher to the middle infield.
1-1 to Willingham. Revere goes off speed pitch, and he stands at second base.
Boy, he read it right. He knew what pitch to run on to, a breaking ball. And Ben Revere steals his 15th base. Got a great jump. A.J. Pierzynski, good strong throw, but on the shortstop side. And the head first slide. Ben Revere holding on to the bag.
1-2 to Willingham. And another breaking pitch just off the plate, and Willingham again has to check his swing.
What that tells you, that breaking ball's got tight rotation like Liriano's slider. Same for Peavy. Good tight rotation.
He misses over the inner half of the plate, and it's 3-2 with Morneau on deck. Slider, 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 slider. So on 3-2.
Well, you know, you kind of sneak a fastball by him, but, you know, this is a big RBI guy here for the Twins, 49 RBIs. So see how they go about their business. Already down 3-0. You do not want to make a mistake here.
And he might have hung a slider over the middle of the plate there. Still 3-2.
You see A.J. wanting it away, and the ball left in, and Willingham hitting it foul.
That had neither bite nor break. Another 3-2 to Willingham. Revere back, with Ramirez nearly blocking the plate from Revere's hand.
Yeah, nice move right here as a pitcher. What you want to do is throw it right over the bag like he does. And Ramirez, quick tag, but Revere got his hand back in there.
And Willingham works out a walk, and Morneau will come up with 2 men aboard.
Yeah,
did he see a fastball in the entire at bat?
No, I don't think so. The first walk for Peavy. I don't think he wanted to make a mistake right there. You know, Josh got his pitch to hit. He hit it foul. And Peavy did not want to make a mistake.
Morneau drilled a single to right center in the 3rd inning. Twins had runners at first and third, 1 out. Peavy buckled down, struck out Plouffe, and got Dozier on a fly ball. Takes a fastball for strike 1.
Well, if you're thinking double play, the double play that Willingham hit into the 1st inning, only the 6th that Jake Peavy has had turned behind him this year. So has not had a lot of double plays when he needs it. So Justin get an extra base hit. Nice block by AJ.
Another nice block by Pierzynski, yes. Peavy had a 1-2-3 first, a 4th inning, but he's been pitching out of trouble all night long here.
And that slider, you can see AJ, like we saw Drew Butera, knocking the ball down.
Pulled foul, another breaking pitch. How many of those can one arm throw?
He took a little off that one, and Justin a little out front.
We've seen it at 85.
Sparky Lyle, that's all he had was a slider, and he played a long time.
But he pitched 2 innings at a time. 86 pitches for Peavy as he tries to weave his way through trouble here in the 5th.
And 60 sliders. There's a fastball he misses away.
2-2. On the inside corner. A fastball that covered the inside corner, and Morneau now getting some exchange with Laz Diaz. 2 down.
Well, there's the fastball right there. And Diaz right over the right shoulder of AJ calls strike 3. Peavy picking up his 5th strikeout.
Well, Twins need a pick-me-up here from Plouffe. He came up in the 3rd inning with 1st and 3rd and 1 out. Peavy struck him out, and now 1st and 2nd and 2 out. As wobbly as Peavy has been, you don't want to keep letting him get off the hook. There's another slider and a swinging strike.
Well, 90 pitches so far for Jake Peavy. Good strike to ball ratio. Hector Santiago warming up. One of the 3 left-handers the White Sox have in their bullpen.
One and 1 to Plouffe. Another breaking pitch and a foul ball. One and 2.
Well, Peavy in his last start against the Cubs, he threw 125 innings, even though he lost that ball game. Another complete game, his 3rd complete game of the year.
And Plouffe, teased by that slider, lays off it. It's 2-2.
.125, a season high.
High fastball got him. Second time that he's gone upstairs to strike out Plouffe, and the Twins strand 2 more in the 5th.
With a look ahead to tomorrow's Twins game. Well, as we head into game 2 of the series, still looks like high pressure will be the dominant feature across the Midwest. The sunshine continues with a nice, comfortable first pitch temperature of 78 degrees.
And a magnificent night tonight so far. Kevin Youkilis leading off the 6th against Francisco Liriano. First pitch. And Youkilis swings through it, 1 strike.
You know, between innings, Bob Irwin came by. He's celebrating his 70th birthday here along with his family. We want to wish him happy 70th birthday. A fantasy camper along with his sons Paul and James.
One of the great things about the fantasy camp is if you come down with your family, they will allow family members to play together if they want to. Sometimes they come down and last thing I want to do is play with your sons one-on-one.
You know what I'm doing next year is my son Todd is turning 40, so he's going to come to camp with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're going to have 2 kangaroo court judges.
Oh, great.
Father and son.
Long as you find yourself.
Oh, which I do. You know I do.
That's all we need is more young blood in the fantasy camp. 2-1. Youkilis has bounced to short, bounced to second. Fly ball center field, playable for Span. 1 down. If you're hitting the road, take the Twins with you. You can subscribe to MLB.tv and see every Twins out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit twinsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Home territory blackout restrictions apply.
You know, we just showed you right there Liriano chewing the gum, and is it something that maybe helped him? They say, okay, and we were told this in St. Louis, that when kids take like an SAT test, that they recommend that they chew gum just to relax them a little bit.
When were you in St. Louis?
I mean Cincinnati. Excuse me, Cincinnati.
I mean, you're gone so much. I didn't know you could have been in St. Louis. You could have been.
I could have been. Who knows where I've been?
1-1 to Adam Dunn.
And now I know the reason why I didn't do very well on the SAT test.
No one gave you any gum.
Nobody wasn't chewing any gum.
Huh.
See, he's chewing gum. But he's already struck out twice, Adam Dunn. Now, it's supposed to relax you.
Okay.
And that's one thing Liriano, I talked to him about it between starts, and I asked him, I said, looks like you're chewing gum now. He said, yeah. He said, just to relax a little bit.
Dunn is called out. Here are his numbers now against left-handed pitching. 87 at-bats for Dunn against lefties, and he has struck out 47 times.
Well, that's a nasty pitch right there, down and in. And Liriano picks up another strikeout, his 5th of the ball game.
So 2 down in the 6th. As the Twins were thinking of a replacement for Matt Capps on the active roster. Here's Nerko driving one to center. Span heading back on the warning track, ends the inning. A 1-2-3-6 for Francisco Liriano. He's got 6 shutout innings. Jake Peavy at 92. Francisco Liriano topped out at 96 so far.
And again, a very good pitch count. 6 innings for Liriano, 80 pitches. Really the fourth inning, the only inning that he was kind of under duress, but it came with 2 outs, and he struck out Pierzynski to end the threat of the White Sox with a couple runners on.
Bottom third of the Twins lineup, starting with Brian Dozier here in the 6th.
It's Christmas time.
Sure doesn't feel like it. Strike 1 to Dozier. Singled and scored in the 2nd, hit a fly ball to right in the 3rd.
Hey, Ron, looks like, you know, I mean, we saw Peavy and Dick mention all the sliders he threw. That a changeup right there. Forgot about his fastball?
Well, I think early in the game he got beat. Jamie with the base hit through the middle.
Youkilis fields that in foul territory. 1-2.
He got beat by some fastballs and guys swinging early in the count on him. And I think he's one of those guys that, you know, obviously he's a great pitcher, and he can make a change in the middle of the game with his game plan by what the hitters are trying to do. And, you know, as Dick was saying, he's gone almost primarily to breaking balls when he's in trouble and off speed pitches. To me, if I'm a hitter and I watch that last inning, I start sitting, you know, maybe not 1 and 2 now, but early in my at bat until I got the 2 strikes, I would sit off speed and just look for a breaking ball.
1-2 to Dozier, leading off the Twins' 6th. It's another breaking pitch and a swing and a miss. He's struck out 3 batters in a row.
Yeah, now he got Justin on a good fastball inside, and then he got Trevor Plouffe to chase the fastball. So he's been getting ahead with that breaking ball. And like Ron said, you start sitting on it, then he'll zip that fastball by you. But that's a nasty slider right here. Look at that thing just keep going. That's a Dave Stieb when he pitched for a Toronto type slider.
Yeah, that one right there is really good. The key, though, is if you sit on it early in the count, he throws the one that he throws as a get-me-over slider that's not as sharp as that one, as the one he throws to try to strike you out.
Inside to Butera. He's struck out swinging twice against Peavy.
That's funny because that's the same thing we were talking about Scott Diamond yesterday, where he gets that, you know, here's a strike one with a curveball, and then the harder breaking ball for the strikeout.
I tell you what, we've seen so many swings and misses with that slider. I don't think anybody's made solid contact with it all day.
No, I mean, it's got tremendous bite, and then it just kind of falls to the outer half of the plate for a right-handed hitter. Tried to backdoor that, and you can almost hear him screaming at himself because he's unhappy at that location.
Guys, the one thing with his slider is everybody's been way out in front of it. That's been the big thing. You know, it's got good tilt to it, and I'm watching it drop down, but he's got great deception of speed with his breaking pitch.
Yeah, Laz Diaz wanted that ball back. Oh, he's talking because he did not wipe, and that's what Laz Diaz wanted that ball back. Saw him go to his mouth, and then he didn't see him wipe.
Now he'll get another baseball because the one he just threw rolled in the dirt.
I think what he's got a little chewing tobacco in there, and I think that's what you know they're talking about. If you go to your mouth, you're supposed to wipe, and he has not been.
And Butera lines it to center. Ball trapped and dropped by De Aza. Butera scampers to second, and he's in. So Butera finally got a fastball, and he drilled it to center and ends up with a double.
Yeah, De Aza tried to shoestring this ball, and just it fell out of his glove. Great effort. And Drew, as he rounded first base, listening to your coach, and that being Jerry White, hustled to second base. So you hustle out of the box. That ball hit the dirt first or grass. Let's see.
No.
Right at the just tipped out of the glove, and Butera ends up getting a double.
Here's Carroll.
For Butera, his 5th double of the year.
Carroll in a similar spot in the 2nd inning, got a first pitch fastball and hit it about where Butera just did for an RBI single. Since then, he's got nothing but breaking pitches. And he takes that one for a strike.
That's the one Ron was talking about, a get me over type slider behind an account.
Ten hits for the Twins. And everybody in the lineup except Josh Willingham has at least one.
Yeah, the 10 hits, the most hits that Peavy has allowed in a start this year. Change up, missing low.
Two and one, Carroll.
Even though the umpires are watching them very closely, Peavy has a routine. I mean, I'm sure, maybe he's not wiping, maybe he is. But if he is, it's very quick.
And Peavy throws the ball into Butera. He made a nice stab of a one-hop smash and tried to get the lead runner. And then threw it into Butera, sliding back to second base.
That'll be a fielder's choice right there that Peavy, Butera really wasn't that far off the bag. Now, what Peavy does, he picks him up and then should throw it right there because Butera, as he got closer to the bag, now you're on the run trying to make a good throw to your shortstop. So Butera able to get back.
Well, here's Span, who's already doubled twice against Peavy. Peavy struck him out looking in the fourth. Bouncer towards second. Beckham gets the force there. Relay to first. They get the double play. So Peavy gets a big double play turn behind him. Second one of the night. Story of the game with the Twins striking early.
Yeah, they sure did. Joe Mauer sacrifice fly right there. That scored Span for the first run in the first inning. Then the Twins added a couple in the second inning to take an early 3-0 lead. Yeah, but Francisco Liriano, he has made it stand up. 6 shutout innings for Liriano. 8 ground ball outs, 5 fly ball outs to go along with his 5 strikeouts.
Alex Rios will lead off the 7th for Chicago. Slider down and in, missing. Rios, Pierzynski, and Viciedo.
Only 3 hits for the Chicago White Sox. 1 by Rios, the other 2 by Ramirez.
2-0. 1 walk issued by Liriano. That was a 4-pitch walk to Konerko with 2 outs and the bases empty. 2-0. Liriano in his last start went 6 2/3 innings. the 2/3 of the inning that he pitched, the only 2 outs he's recorded in a 7th inning this year. Strike one. Yankees beat the second-place Indians 7-1. First game of that series in the Bronx. And after the 3 games here, the White Sox go to New York for 4. Three and 2. Again, one of the reasons why, if the Twins can put together a good homestand, 2 of the teams at the top of the division have to play the Yankees when they're not playing the Twins. Full count. And a tapper foul.
Good pitch right there. Slider, and Rios fouled it off. Well, Twins come into the ball game 8.5 games behind the Cleveland Indians. The Chicago White Sox, excuse me. Cleveland losing. They dropped to 1 game behind the White Sox.
Full count to Rios. Ripped to the left field corner, and Rios has his second hit. This one will go for extra bases. So Rios with a leadoff double here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Pierzynski.
Only the 4th hit off of Liriano, and that slider just kind of spun right there. And Rios took advantage of that pitch and gets the first extra base hit.
Pierzynski's 0 for 2. Liriano struck him out in a key spot in the 4th inning, 1st and 2nd, 2 away. And Liriano put him down on strikes. Now falling behind, and Butera will go to the mound.
Well, this is what we've seen Butera going out to just keep him focused. And remember last time out he got the first out in Pittsburgh on the first out. Then he hit Olivares, and then Barmas got a base hit, and then the walk, and he got another out, and that's when Jarrett Burton came in and got the final out of that inning.
It's a fastball on the outside corner. Most important thing regarding trips to the mound, there haven't been any by the pitching coach. Liriano's first stint as a starter, those happened in the 1st or 2nd inning frequently. Swing and a foul, 1 and 2. There's enough on that fastball, and what we've seen over the last couple of starts, better command of the fastball.
Yeah, that last fastball at 94 miles an hour. Liriano now with 90 pitches, 52 for strikes. Alex Burnett starting to loosen up.
1 and 2 to Pierzynski. That kicks away from Butera. Another fastball in the dirt. And Rios will go to 3rd. Wild pitch allowing Rios to move up a base.
For Liriano, his 5th wild pitch of the year. I think they tried to go back in again, and Butera kind of backhand that rather than turn the glove and keep it in front of him. Ball got away from him.
2 and 2. Liriano knocks it down and gets the out at first. I'm not sure where it hit him. Might even have hit him in the glove, but he gets an out. And Rios, for the time being, anchored at 3rd.
Yeah, that ball looked like it's going to go up the middle. It just caromed off of Liriano. Dave Prumer, Ron Gardenhire heading out, and Liriano said he's all right. Let's take a look right here. Ball hit back up the middle. It looked like it hit his right leg, his thigh area. Thought about 3rd, but decided to get the out at 1st.
Home plate umpire Laz Diaz out on the mound, making sure that the visit from the manager was just medical related. How is he feeling physically to where the ball hit him and all that?
So no trip to the mound. That's Gardy still has 1 left, and hopefully he doesn't have to use it.
That'd be nice. Here's Viciedo. A little nubber between the mound and third base. Liriano threw him out in the third, and then a ground ball hit to Carroll. Infield back with a 3-run lead. And down and in, ball 1.
Viciedo, only 23 years old already in his 3rd season with the White Sox. Getting an opportunity this year to play on a regular basis.
One and one.
Good change up there.
Seen a lot of sliders and fastballs. We haven't lately seen many changeups. Good time for one. One and one to Viciedo. Looked like a high slider, maybe got a swing and a miss.
Anderson watching him closely. Liriano would like to get a strikeout right here.
1-2 to Viciedo. Just missed with a slider inside. 2-2. Fastball missing badly, and it's a full count. A base runner of any kind here brings the tying run to the plate and might spell the end of the night for Liriano. Ramirez has hit Liriano well, already has a couple of singles against him tonight. Burnett warmed up. And a walk puts him aboard.
They tried to change up right there and missed down and away.
Now what do? They haven't used a trip to the mound, and now the trainer Dave Brummer coming out to check with Butera. Might have taken that in the bare hand.
Well, Drew trying to get in front of that and
didn't get him in the hand, did it?
No, one ringy dingy. As the weather cools down here, Butera just got real hot. You're going to see some smiling there in a second here. Knowing Drew, usually, he's one of the characters on that ball club. I thought for sure he was going to say something and make Gardy smile.
Well, now the manager and the trainer head back to the dugout as Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, heads to the mound. This is a dicey situation here. As good as Liriano's been, he's been pitching with a 3-0 lead.
I like this move, though. Let him work his way out of this. See if he can do that. And that's what Rick Anderson's talking to him right now. A quick trip to the mound by the pitching coach.
Well, we identified Ramirez as one of Chicago's hottest hitters. You identified him as a guy who's had great success against Liriano. Yeah. And fans have been watching. They know he's 2 for 2 against him.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2. Means he's due to make an out. That's the way I look at it. And this is what you want your starters to do. Go through situations like this, especially late in a ball game, and work your way out of it.
Only one out. Ramirez hitting 8th, and then Beckham, the 9th place hitter.
How about a double play ball?
Well, we've hit into more than we've turned tonight. I know that.
Ramirez has hit into 9 double plays.
Down and away, ball 1, and Liriano's strike percentage has dropped considerably here in the 7th. Twins have hit into 2 double plays tonight. Slider gets a swing and a miss. his 100th pitch of the night. Only one other time has Liriano thrown more than 100 pitches. That was 2 starts ago here against Milwaukee. One and one for the White Sox shortstop. Drilled to right center. Revere back for the catch. That's out number 2.
Good.
Rios tags from third and scores. It's 3-1.
Yeah, that's okay right there. He got the hot hitter against him out. Now Ramirez hit it sharply. Rios scores, but the second out is recorded. Ramirez picks up an RBI, his 33rd of the year.
Beckham lined out to Revere his last time up. Up high, ball 1.
This will be important for Liriano to get this final out right here. That means that he's gone 7 very good innings. Only 1 run on the board. Only 4 hits. Great change up there.
1-1.
And this is probably the last batter you're going to face, so give it all you've got. What's left in the tank right here?
Roller to short.
Good
Dozier
job.
flips to second.
Good job. He was given the opportunity and he worked out of it.
And by AT&T, the nation's largest. Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Quench your thirst. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible.
Still.
Now we've been to Baudette, and happy to see Twins fans from way up there
Yes.
down to Target Field on a gorgeous night for baseball. If you can't enjoy baseball on a night like this where we are, how lucky are we to be here? Twins in front 3-1.
Very lucky.
Ben Revere will lead off the 7th against a new Chicago pitcher.
Yeah, Hector Santiago, one of the 3 left-handers coming out of that bullpen. Santiago making his 24th relief appearance. And Liriano's night is done, and I tell you what, I'm glad that they let him work out of that situation.
Revere drops a base hit into left field, his 3rd hit of the night. He was robbed of a hit the only time he was retired. So the leadoff man on here in the 7th.
Well, he fought off that fastball right there, inside out swing. And Ben gets a base hit.
So Mauer is 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Will hit.
Santiago, Hector Santiago, in his 2nd season with the White Sox.
Twins haven't scored since the 2nd inning. White Sox just got a run in the top of the 7th. We'll see if the Twins can answer in the bottom. Up and in, ball 1. Mentioned that Cleveland has lost. They are now a game behind Chicago. If the Twins can win this game, they'd be 7.5 games out of first place. Tigers are leading Texas 8-0. They scored 5 runs in the 1st inning, but there's growing concern in Detroit that Alex Avila is going to need knee surgery. One and one to Mauer. Foul out of the glove of Pierzynski. 1-2.
Santiago, just 24 years old, signed by the White Sox in 2006.
Mauer bounces it through the hole to right. Revere will round second and scamper to third. So Mauer has his 2nd hit. And the left-hander brought in to face Revere and Mauer, and they both touch him for a base hit.
Well, one of the reasons that Ben Revere doesn't try to steal in that situation and leave that hole open, and that's exactly what Joe Mauer was able to do because Konerko was holding him on. You see the range. He can't quite get there, even though Ben Revere has to wait for that ball to get through. He scampers over to third with his speed.
Well, good night for Mauer at the plate, and now Willingham, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Fouled into the seats. Sometimes when you have we'll use a right-handed example here, a power hitter like Willingham, they really fatten up against left-handed pitching. That's not really been the case for Willingham. He's hit right-handers about as well as he's hit left-handers this year. But he's up in a key spot here against the lefty Santiago. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Smothered by Pierzynski, 1-1. Blocked again. Here comes Revere, and he's a dead duck. Revere tried to score, and Pierzynski blocked most of it, went to the grass to pick it up and tagged him out.
Yeah, base running mistake right there by Ben Revere. Again, there's not a lot of room behind home plate, but that ball got away from A.J. Not far enough for Ben Revere to try to outrun the baseball. Ball gets away from A.J. and Ben decides to go, and A.J. tags him out. On the play, Joe Mauer went from 1st to 2nd.
Well, the Twins have not scored since the 2nd inning. They had a man in scoring position in the 3rd, again in the 5th, again in the 6th, and now a couple of men here in the 7th. They need to get that run back that the White Sox got in the top of this inning. Inside, and it's 3-1 with Morneau on deck. First base now open, and the whole world knows about Morneau's struggles against lefties. 3-1 to Willingham.
He got a fastball from Chapman yesterday and hit a 2-run home run. Ooh, good swing. He got a fastball, but it was just up a little bit.
And too slow. It was only 95 miles per hour. This is what we were talking about with Ron Gardenhire before the game. The way the matchup sits right now, Perkins would get the 8th inning and Burton would get the 9th.
Yeah, 2 of the first 3 hitters coming up for Chicago at the top of the 8th inning are left-handed hitters.
Full count to Willingham. And Willingham takes his second walk. So Santiago hasn't retired a batter yet. And here comes Morneau. Coming up on Saturday, the Twins will be playing a split doubleheader against Kansas City. The second game starts at 6:10. There are the Miller uniforms that the Twins will be wearing with their tip of the cap back to 1951. The Twins will be playing in Miller uniforms. The Royals will be donning the jerseys of the Kansas City Blues.
It's Jim Thome. That's Andy Price.
Twins director of broadcasting. The first 10,000 fans will get a Miller's pennant. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. First and second, 1 out. And a big at bat here for Morneau against the lefty Santiago. Tap foul. The numbers are glaring. Morneau doing just fine against right-handers, and the biggest difference, he used to be equally as good against lefties, and that has not been the case at all.
Well, I know Justin not happy at those numbers, and hopefully they can improve. Starting right here.
Be a good spot for it. He does have 2 home runs against left-handed pitching.
That's a nasty pitch right there.
0-2.
Santiago came into this ball game with 26 innings pitched, 30 strikeouts.
Two strikes to the Twins first baseman. 1-2. Over the inner half, and Morneau fouled it away.
He wanted that slider away like he did strike 2, but he left this one up a little bit.
Another 1-2 pitch. 6-mile-per-hour fastball, but off the plate. And that's what I think we've seen. When Morneau has seen fastballs, they haven't been in the strike zone. He's chased fastballs up, and he's chased fastballs away. He just hasn't seen many for strikes. See what he gets here on 2-2. Pierzynski.
I got a piece of Velaz Diaz.
Yeah, I'm not sure Pierzynski blocked that pitch at all. I think Velaz Diaz did.
I think it was off the tip of his glove, and then it deflected off of the home plate umpire. Yeah, just off the tip of the glove, and Velaz Diaz and Drew Butera have something in common.
At least tonight they do. Full count to Morneau. 1 out. Not a whole lot of speed on the bases. Ball 4.
Wow.
Santiago lost him. They're loaded up.
Yeah, he was ahead in the count, 0-2. So 2 straight walks. Brings out Robin Ventura.
Santiago came into the game because 3 of the 4 batters he ended up facing were left-handed. He didn't retire a batter. The only out recorded when Revere tried to score from third on a pitch in the dirt. And he'll come out now with Ventura taking a rather circuitous route to the mound. I'm not sure what he's pondering here. And now he's made the call.
I saw Tim Welke motion in.
It'll be Jones coming in to face Plouffe.
Target Field Tour. Visit twinsbaseball.com or call 833-TWINS to check out all the different types of tours that are available and the daily schedule. Private tours are available too. Go to twinsbaseball.com or call 833-TWINS to get all the details to book your Target Field Tour. There you go. You're here by Circle, kids. Atta baby, put your face in there.
Nate Jones comes into the ball game to try to keep this game within reach for the White Sox. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Yeah, one thing that the White Sox have, a couple youngsters out in that bullpen. We just saw Santiago, only 24 years old. Nate Jones, 26 years old, but in his rookie season for the White Sox. Making his 28th relief appearance, 34 2/3 innings, 34 hits allowed, 12 walks and 34 strikeouts. Young man has a good fastball, real good curveball, and a changeup.
Revere started the inning with a base hit. A single and a pair of walks that follow. Plouffe at the plate. He struck out twice and singled to right. Swing and a miss. 97 miles per hour. And strike 1. Solid single up the middle would serve the Twins quite well. There's a pop-up, and it'll reach the seats, and quickly the count runs to 0-2.
Saw his delivery right there. Jones, 26 years old, 6'5", about 190. Kind of gets that right arm up very quickly and then stays on top of that ball. Like I said, he's averaged a strikeout per inning pitched.
98 up and away. One and 2 to Plouffe. Popped up and behind the Chicago dugout.
Jones in his 6th year of pro ball, all with the White Sox, signed by the White Sox out of Northern Kentucky University back in 2007.
One and two. And now 2-2. To right field. Rios coming in. Makes a great catch. Tagging and scoring is Mauer, and just getting back to first is Morneau. They'll peel to third base. Safe there, so the Twins get a run on a great catch by Rios. Morneau nearly doubled off, and Mauer scoring alertly from third base.
Yeah, if you're on third base, you have to wait and see what happens. Joe Gwynn getting back to the bag. Rios, a shoestring type catch, makes a great catch. And then they try to get Justin out at first, but Konerko trying to stay on the bag right here, but he kind of falls off the bag. Foot came off the bag.
You try to stretch, but he tried to stretch forward so much he came off the bag.
Luke picking up an RBI on the sacrifice fly.
And now Dozier.
Take a look right here. Justin going about halfway. He should be getting back.
I was trying to watching two screens at once. In case you're wondering, if Mauer had crossed the plate before Morneau was doubled off, the run would have scored. I think we had that play a couple years ago where unless it's a force play, the run scores. 2-0 now to Dozier.
Well, Twins get back to that 3-run lead thanks to Plouffe's sacrifice line drive out. Nice catch by Rios.
High and tight, 3-0 with Butera on deck. And there's ball 4. They're reloaded.
Third walk of the inning by the bullpen of the White Sox.
John Cooper coming to the mound.
A couple coaches on Robin Ventura's team that wore a Twins uniform. Don Cooper, one of them. Mark Salas, former Twins catcher, another. Salas, a bullpen coach in Chicago here.
So Butera will come to the plate with the bases loaded. So the Twins got the one back that the White Sox scored in the top of this inning. And a chance to break the game open. Butera doubled his last time up. Strike on the outside corner. Down low.
Well, I think Jones has done everything fastball. Fastball. And kind of all over the place.
5 strikes out of 12 pitches. And Butera is going to make him throw another strike. 2-1.
Bullpen of the White Sox 10th in the American League as far as combined ERA at 3.6.
Bouncer toward the hole, and Youkilis slings it to first. And that ends the inning. The Twins get one, but lead 3. Back to a 3-run lead.
Special job he needs to take care of before he plays the game. He's our guest tomorrow for Twitter Tuesday. Send in your questions. Use the hashtag #AskATwin. And the interview will air during the Twins Live presented by CenturyLink pregame show tomorrow. We will get to your questions early and often, so send them in using #AskATwin as the hashtag, and it may make the air. Who knows, Dick and Bert?
Glenn Perkins into the ball game for the Twins in the 8th inning. Bullpen was outstanding in taking 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati.
Yeah, this Cincinnati, not St. Louis. Perkins on Friday night picked up the save. And then yesterday, it was Burton that picked up his first Major League save.
And all of that made necessary because Matt Camps had a shoulder issue and was put on the disabled list today with shoulder inflammation. De Aza a lefty, Youkilis a righty, Dunn a lefty, and for that reason Perkins assigned the 8th inning, with the assumption being that Burton would get the 9th.
Well, Perkins, this is normally his role right here, the 8th inning, so hopefully it's a 1-2-3 inning. Good fastball there at 93. Perkins having a solid year. 33rd relief appearance, a 2.93 earned run average. 40 strikeouts for Perkins in 31 innings pitched.
Breaking pitch, sliced foul, 1-2. De Aza does just fine against lefties. Youkilis, of course, the veteran, hits either side, but Dunn, the one really struggling against lefties again this year, making contact. 1-2. Check swing, and it's 2-2. Mid-90s fastball again from Perkins. Two and 2 to the leadoff man in the 8th.
Yeah, De Aza kind of a slap hitter. He tries to put the ball in play, utilize his speed.
Breaking pitch, and that's lifted foul the other way. Piazza had a big home run against the Twins at U.S. Cellular Field earlier this year, one of his 4 on the season. Slow breaking ball, and Plouffe chases this into foul territory, making the catch by the Tarp. Perkins pulled the string just enough to get Piazza to pop it up weakly, 1 away.
Yeah, Plouffe had to go running back. He knew that tarp, but he was close to the tarp. And right at the last second, see him looking right there, has to keep his eye on the ball. And about a foot away, then kind of gingerly falls into the tarp for the first out.
So now Youkilis will hit 0 for 3, 2 ground balls and a fly to center. Youkilis expendable by the Red Sox because Will Middlebrooks had done such a great job stepping in and delivering a lot of clutch hits for the Red Sox. Red Sox are paying most of Youkilis's salary the rest of this way. And the White Sox had to give up Brent Lillibridge, who's a nice utility player. And Zach Stewart, a pitcher who had been up with the big league club, but was at Charlotte.
He had just been optioned out.
Right.
Stewart had.
2-0 to Youkilis, done in the on-deck circle. Fouled back. In his prime, Youkilis was one of the great grinders in terms of his at-bats, one of the great clutch hitters the Red Sox had. His numbers have tailed off, and so a lot of people in baseball wondering how much is left in Kevin Youkilis. 2-2.
Good fastball inside right there. Youkilis, 33 years old. Out of the University of Cincinnati, not St. Louis, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati native. Pounded foul. Red Sox were in Chicago about a week and a half ago, and that's about the time when the rumors started rumbling about Youkilis being available for teams that might be interested. 2-2. Breaking pitch, and another one tapped foul.
Well, we showed you the numbers combined. The third baseman's coming into this today hitting only at 168. So they needed some help in that position offensively.
You know, we've talked from time to time in Minnesota about how the Twins have struggled to find a third baseman since Corey Koskie left. And for the White Sox, it hasn't been as long a period of time, but the White Sox have struggled since they had a healthy Joe Crede.
Joe Crede, yeah.
Another 2-2. Slower breaking ball, and it's rolled up the middle. So seemed to be about the same pitch that Perkins used to get Piazza, and Youkilis just rolls it up the middle for a base hit.
That's a good at bat for Kevin Youkilis. Fought off some pitches, and then the breaking ball that he hit straight back up the middle. Only the 5th hit for the Chicago White Sox so far in this ballgame.
Here's Dunn, who has struck out 3 times against left-handed pitching tonight. All 3 at bats earlier were against Liriano. One strike. Coming into the game, before these 3 strikeouts tonight, he was on a pace to strike out 258 times, which would shatter Mark Reynolds' mark for strikeouts in a season.
This guy's a monster, though, too. 6'6", about 285.
1 strike. And now 2.
I mean, with him at the plate and Drew Butera behind the plate, it looks like his little brother's catching.
Two strikes to Adam Dunn. His 4th strikeout tonight. 2 down.
Perkins picks up the second out of the inning on a strikeout, his first.
The run the Twins got in the bottom of the 7th inning might be what is going to keep Glenn Perkins in the game here with Konerko coming up.
Just overpowered, done right there.
Konerko does not represent the tying run, and perhaps because of that, the Twins will leave Perkins in to face him rather than bringing Burton in. Konerko 6 for 26 against Perkins with 1 home run. And an off-speed pitch. It eases over the inside corner. Snapped his bat. Flip to second. Good inning for Perkins as he strands a runner aboard in a scoreless 8th.
Game series against the White Sox at Target Field, and as always, we've got our post-game show coming your way with our continuing coverage of Twins Live presented by CenturyLink. We'll talk about Francisco Liriano and his gem that he pitched tonight. Another one. Liriano with 7 very strong innings, including 5 strikeouts. Gave up just 4 hits. Ron Gardenhire's post-game press conference. And our instructional tonight is defending the bunt. We're going to talk about the De Aza bunt in the top half of the 5th inning. Great play and great work by Jamie Carroll and Justin Morneau. So Ron Coomer, Bert Blyleven, going to take us through it all after the game, right, Bert?
Yeah, whatever, Robbie. Thank you.
Jamie Carroll will lead off the bottom of the 8th, and he takes strike 1. Carroll, Span, and Revere with the Twins up by 3. And what they hope will be their last at bat. 1-1.
Well, Nate Jones still out there. He came in relief of Hector Santiago in the 7th inning. Gave up that line drive RBI to Trevor Plouffe and then walked Dozier and then got Butera on a force out. Or 5-3.
Up high, 3-1. Carroll with one of the biggest hits of the game. There have been a dozen for the Twins, but Carroll's 2-out single to center against Jake Peavy, making it a 3-0 ball game at the time, and now he draws a leadoff walk. And that was the last run the Twins would score against Peavy, even though they had a number of good scoring opportunities.
Robin Ventura coming out already, wanting another left-hander to come in.
Will Ullman's going to come in to face Span, Revere, and Mauer. And we'll take another break on a beautiful night at Target Field. Provided the soundtrack for Twins baseball. You can log on to foxsportsnorth.com and read Joe Neeson's story about the sounds of the game. There's Sue.
Very nice lady.
Yes, she is.
Sue and her husband Larry. Nice people. Will Ullman coming into the ball game, the high ERA, but 0-2 out of the bullpen, making his 31st relief appearance. And tough on lefties. Left-handers hitting only .204 off of them since 2004. So kind of a specialist in this situation. Come in, get a couple lefties out.
You remember on the road trip, Twins struggled in some games in the middle of the road trip. And the leadoff guys were struggling. The Spans and Reveres weren't getting on base. Tonight, Span with 2 doubles. Revere with 3 singles. Mauer with 2 singles. Span takes outside, ball 1. Span in particular had a tough time in Pittsburgh, and the Twins lost 2 out of 3 there. Doubled his first 2 times up against Jake Peavy. Missing again. The White Sox bullpen became a factor in the 7th inning. Twins took 3 walks in the 7th, and now the 8th inning has started with a walk. And Ullman comes in and misses on his first 2 pitches to Span. Fastball for a strike.
Yeah, Ullman, 34 years old, came up with the Cubs back in 2001. He's pitched for the Braves, the Dodgers, the Orioles, the Marlins, and now in his 2nd season with the White Sox.
Back to the pitcher, to Ramirez. And Span, rare for him, he's bounced into 2 double plays here tonight. In the 6th, he hit a ground ball to Beckham and they turned 2, and now a comebacker turned into a double play.
Kind of jammed himself right here. That one hopper back to Ullman, and he throws over to Ramirez covering second. And then the strong throw across the diamond. So yeah, Span, 2 double plays.
3 singles for Revere. His average up to .327. He's roughly 50 plate appearances short of qualifying for batting leadership. But if he remains healthy, he should get those plate appearances, and if he can keep his average about where it is, Twins might have a different batting champion in their hands eventually. You know, he's done what they've asked him to do. He's cut down on the fly balls. He's hit line drives and ground balls, and as a result, we've seen more and more multiple hit games. 2 strikes. One and 2. Tough guy to strike out, tough guy to walk. And he's got a 4-hit night. Fell behind 0-2, put the ball in play, and did it sharply.
Well, Ben Revere, who struggled in Pittsburgh, had that 4-hit night in Cincinnati on Friday. And here tonight, beat out that bunt right there, kind of a swinging bunt. And then that ball into center field. Then in the 5th inning, another base hit. He stole a base in the 5th inning. And there's a 4th hit up the middle. So second time this season Ben Revere's had a 4-hit night, and the 3rd for his career.
At the knees, a strike to Mauer. Mauer's got a pair of hits and a sacrifice fly.
You know, the thing about Ben Revere, he brings so much to the ballpark. He doesn't bring the power. He probably doesn't bring the arm, but boy, this guy's on. He's always got that smile on his face. He loves playing the game. Brings a lot of enthusiasm with him. And down in AAA, by the way, he hit .330 while his time down there.
Mauer loops it to left, and that'll land in front of Viciedo, so the inning continues. Mauer has his 3rd hit. The only time Revere was retired, it took a superhuman play by Gordon Beckham to retire him back in the 2nd inning.
Well, softly hit right here. In front of Viciedo, he comes in. Keeps that ball in front of him. Now this will be a good place for Willingham to pick up his first hit. He does have a couple walks.
And the walk-up song, Sweet Home Alabama. See if Willingham can deliver a big hit here to give the Twins some breathing room in the 9th inning. That hit him. Just kicked him. And Pierzynski complains. And Laz Diaz looks in the Chicago dugout saying it brushed him on the arm. So Morneau now will come to the plate. And suddenly the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Well, Willingham, who stands right on that top of that plate anyway, doesn't give way.
Oh, it might have ticked the sleeve of his jersey. You could see his sleeve right by the Twins emblem on the left shoulder, just kind of riffled as the ball went by.
As we got a second here, we want to congratulate Brittany Viola, Frank Viola's daughter. She won the 10-meter platform diving USA Olympic trials yesterday and will represent Team USA in London. So, Brittany, congratulations to you.
Another matchup for Morneau against a left-hander, this time with the bases loaded. Strike on the outside corner. Morneau kind of rolls his eyes. He takes one of those breaking pitches on the first one, and it's called a strike on the outside corner. And now a ball. Morneau fell behind against Santiago in the 7th. 0-2, and then Santiago ended up walking him. Holman doesn't have that luxury. The bases are loaded here.
Second inning row, the Twins have loaded the bases.
1 and 2.
Yeah, those are the pitches right there that are frustrating Justin, because that's a ball. That ball just landed on the other side of the plate. And it's almost like he made up his mind he was going to swing, and the ball out of the strike zone. So 3 straight breaking balls here to Justin by Will Ullman.
Morneau called out on strikes in the 5th. Peavy buzzed a fastball over the inside corner. Time called by Pierzynski. Pierzynski kind of shrugging his shoulders at Ullman, saying, what are we doing here?
Well, he wants to make sure what pitch is coming.
And there's a fastball taken for a strike. So the Twins have left 13 men on base through 8 innings, yet they lead by 3. Farmers Insurance report card, Ben Revere with a 4-hit night. The Twins scoring 4 runs and lead by 3.
I tell you what, it's so much easier to play this game of baseball if you can start or can do exactly what Liriano did. The Twins offense jumped on Jake Peavy early. 6 hits, 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Liriano, a season high 7 innings pitched. Only 1 run allowed with the 5 strikeouts. And more importantly, only 2 walks. He was around the strike zone all night long.
Jared Burton, who got his first major league save yesterday, will be looking to get his 2nd here tonight.
Well, Burton making his 32nd relief appearance. He was one happy camper yesterday after that first major league save.
Walked a couple of guys, which is unusual for him, and he walked the leadoff batter on 4 pitches, but he got through it. And he delivers strike 1 on the outside corner. Rios, Pierzynski, and Viciedo, a righty, a lefty, and a righty. To the backstop, 1-1.
Not only did he get his first major league save, he did it against the organization that signed him, the Cincinnati, that he came up to the big leagues with. Originally signed by Oakland, but he came up with the Cincinnati Reds, not the Cardinals, in 2007.
I can understand why you get those 2 cities mixed up. St. Louis has the Arch, and Cincinnati has.
They're both red.
Yeah, okay. 2-1.
Cincinnati has a Licking River that flows right off of the Ohio River.
Yeah. One down. Burton gets the first out of the ninth after a great outing by Francisco.
Yeah, Liriano right from the get-go. I tell you what, he was outstanding. He only gave up 4 hits, 3 singles and a double. And the thing is, there's only 2 players that got the 4 hits. So the other 7 he did a great job against. And he worked out of that situation in the 7th inning. I thought that was very important to get Ramirez to line out, even though he picked up an RBI. Then he got Beckham for the final out of the 7th inning.
Pierzynski takes outside. Ball 1. Burton used here in back-to-back games, and that has been as far as the Twins have pushed him, and they've only done that a few times.
Well, this is the 2nd time, I believe.
But now the challenge will come if he's in the closing mix. Will he be able to go 3 games in a row? Will Glenn Perkins be the only one in a closing role tomorrow?
And we say that because he had shoulder surgery in April of last year, and last year was kind of a rehab year. You know, he missed most of the year, and this year came the spring training, still building that arm strength up. And the Twins have been very, very good at not putting him back-to-back games.
So good at throwing strikes and avoiding walks, and now he's fallen behind Pierzynski, 3-0. Stepped off the mound to collect himself a bit. And a strike that covers the inside corner.
And you have to do it again right here. No free passes.
2 yesterday, and you may have seen only 5 on the year. And he missed. And Pierzynski will go to first with a 1-out walk. And here comes Viciedo. Viciedo walked his last time up. His was one of the 2 walks issued by Liriano. Indians lost to the Yankees 7-1. And Butera will go to the mound. It looks like the Tigers are going to win. They jumped on the Rangers early. They lead at 8-2 in the 9th.
Well, they're going over signs right here because of with a runner on. Drew will go through more than just 1 sign, even with a runner at first.
Kansas City, the next team up the ladder in the Central for the Twins to hopefully catch. They had hot and cold Luke Hochevar on the mound tonight, and he was hot tonight. They shut out the Rays 8-0. Here's Viciedo. And there's a strike on the outside corner.
Good hard slider there at 87.
High and tight with a fastball. No swing, 1-1. Burton with 11 pitches, just 4 strikes here in the 9th inning.
He held up.
Swing and a miss. Don't know of what value it would be, but and it's a coincidence more than anything else, but Burton is got as a battery mate tonight the guy who caught the end of the game yesterday, Drew Butera, who entered the game after Mauro's pinch run for.
A hard slider, then 2 good fastballs at 93.
1-2. And a chopper up the line foul.
That might have been the circle change right there at 88. We've seen that circle change. The bottom just drops out of it, but what makes it is he keeps that ball down in the strike zone.
Threw a couple of them to Scott Rowland, and I still haven't figured out how Rowland took those in the 9th
laid
inning.
off of him, yep.
1-2 to Viciedo. Very high, 2-2. one popped up, and it'll spin back into the seats.
Burton in that save yesterday through 16 pitches, 8 for strikes. Scott Diamond getting the win. He went to 6-3 in yesterday's win over the Reds.
To center. Chased by Span. 2 down.
Good pitch right there to a very strong individual. And Vizcaíno had him out front a little bit. And then he hit that fly ball to Span in center.
Last hope for the White Sox, Alexei Ramirez. 2 singles and a sacrifice fly against Francisco Liriano.
Even though that was a sacrifice fly, it was the second out. And remember, Rios was at third base with nobody out. And that's the only run that scored so far for the White Sox. Then is able to retire Gordon Beckham to end the 7th inning.
1-0. (2-0). 18 pitches, 8 strikes for Burton as he tries to pick up his second major league save.
And now you're back into that fastball mode where you have to make this guy earn his way on. Twins are up by 3. No free passes.
That hits the inside corner. 2-1.
It is a fastball down in the strike zone. What's some Fox tracks say?
At the knees.
Bottom of it.
Inside 3-1 with Beckham on deck. Earlier, Alex Burnett was warming up, but there's no activity in the pen now. This is Burton's game to save in the 9th. (3-1). High fly to center field.
Oh, I love those sacrifice flies.
Twins win the opener 4-1, and Burton gets his second major league save in as many days.
Great job by the pitching staff. Some good hitting early on for the Twins to hold on and beat the White Sox.
Kevin Gordon, such an important homestand for the Twins, a week-and-a-half stretch, really, and it gets off to a great start. Effective relief, some clutch hits early, and it all added up to a 4-1 Twins win.
Yes, sir. Twins trying to carve into that lead, Dick, before the All-Star break. They take a game off of it tonight. We'll break it all down. We'll hear from Ron Gardner, and instructional will teach you how to field the bunt.